So I want to do something different today. We're going to talk about steroids in sports. We're going to talk about steroids in fitness influencers and steroids in the general public. So one of the big things that happens, and it just happened recently with another girl in CrossFit, she did a 280-pound clean at about 130 pounds. People started accusing her of steroids. Of course, she takes to the streets to proclaim the fact that she's natural. Well, unfortunately, so did Lance Armstrong and Floyd Landis. And, well, the entire Tour de France has claimed that they're natural. Every bodybuilder on the planet has made some sort of reference to being natural. And just like with the Olympic athletes, every now and then people pop positive for steroids. The claim of lifetime natty or lifetime natural athlete is pretty much the exact thing that anyone would do if they were guilty. If you accuse somebody of murder, they're not going to say, well, yes, I did. Well, maybe they will. Maybe they're nuts. But for the most part, people are going to turn around and go, no, not me. Unfortunately, what we know about sports, depending on the actual sport and the sports sport division and the sports testing protocols, there are some laxities in sports. What we know about hormones as well from the videos that you watch, some hormones are in and out of your system. Some steroids are in and out of your system in anywhere from 4 to 8 to 24 to 2 weeks. So depending on what you're taking, you can test negative if you know what you're doing. Now, what does this matter? Well, it doesn't really matter because you're not competing. You're not competing with these people. Field, on the stage. You are competing with these people every time you open up Facebook, every time you open up Instagram, every time that you go to a social media platform, you're competing with these people. It's important to know that there's a certain level of body composition and muscularity that you can get naturally. There's a certain level of body composition and muscularity that you cannot get if you are natural. A lot of these women are actually making it hard for other women to get in shape because they don't want to look big and muscular. They come out and say, well, I'm natural. So by default, since you're saying you're natural, you are saying to most women that you will naturally look like me if you pick up a weight. You will naturally look like I look. So I'm not saying people need to admit that what they're doing, but we need to accept that there are people out there that are lying about their status, whether or not they use drugs. There's a lot of influencers out there that are lying about what they take and what they do. Oh, it's just creatine. Nah, it's misspelled creatine as Anavar. You know, I think you misread that label. So what we need to do is we need to start looking at not what you see. Everything shouldn't be taken at face value. No matter what you look at in the world, if I tell you, and I did this, I made a video about metabolism and how it doesn't change with age, backed up by scientific fact. And you guys were like, no, those facts are wrong. You're an idiot. So we go to the internet and we see some 25-year-old who's shredded as a female, and we have striations and more muscles than you could possibly imagine, leaner than some of the guys out there, and we go, hey, she said she's natural. It must be true. The logic on the internet is astounding. Everyone looks at the internet and it's like, oh, well, they said it, so it must be true. I've said it in a video before. Crackheads don't post crackhead on their Instagram profile. Crackheads don't update their Instagram profile with, hi, I'm a crackhead. It doesn't work that way. So if someone is using steroids, they don't want to be honest with you and tell you they're using steroids. They're trying to sell you a program. If someone is trying to sell you a program and they are using steroids, they don't want to give the steroids credit for any part of their progress. If they do, it belittles their program. And that's what we need to focus on. So when you look at what's happening online, stop comparing yourself to these people to start with. It doesn't matter if they're natural or not. Some of these people have nothing else to do but train and eat and sleep and recover and get massages, all the things that would happen in a perfect world. Their style of training is broken down so they can do 2 to 3 workouts a day without overloading their system because they have between 6 and 8 hours between the workouts. We don't have that. We don't have 6 to 8 hours where we can sit down and go, well, I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, I did my cardio, and then at noon, I did another workout, and then at 6, I did another workout. You don't have that level of time. Has it been studied before? Yes. There is actual scientific research that proves if you work out like that, it is a lot easier to get to your goals and make multiple goals. Meaning, if you want to run fast, and you want to lift heavy, and you want to swim far, if you break up each one of those training sessions by about 6 hours, it allows your body to adapt to all three of them. Now, with that said, you're not training at 100% each training session. You're training at about 75% each workout. One day a week, you're training 100% in one, 60% in the other, and it changes. So what we know about training, what we know about health and fitness, is there's a lot of smoke and mirrors on the internet, and you need to stop looking at everybody on the internet who's completely shredded as if they know what the hell they're talking about. Because steroids in the interwebs is actually more prevalent than steroids in sports. It's that simple.